Hey everybody, I'm Super Train Station H, autistic gamer and writer, and for the first time in about a year, welcome to another stream with me on camera. Yeah, I didn't actually completely dismantle all my webcam stuff. All the sources and scenes that I used to use back when I used my webcam before, all I did was put the VTuber models like game capture thing above that. Hey there, Clackaboy. Thanks for the 5-year anniversary. I don't know why this scene is silent, but yeah, it's been a while. It's been a few weeks shy of a year because it was right towards the end of April that I revealed the Lunarian Age VTuber model, and I was scrambling for months till the day before I pulled that off to do that reveal the way I did. And honestly, even without all the scripted sequences and storyline things, even a stream as simple as this pretty much takes a full day of troubleshooting. I'm very certain that for some reason it just seemed like in a lot of the testing that my mic quality seemed worse than it did last, or the week before last. It was a fortnight ago because last week I was out of town. Yeah, and so it's been a while since I've been on camera. You know, if I continued the advanced controller XLO token storyline thing and the way that I originally intended to at the time, I still hope to do it someday when I, have, a few more people to watch me and when I'm able to prove that it actually brings in viewers, because all that extra work I did, and as much as I was passionate about it, it really didn't have any benefit from my stream in terms of viewership. But I'm really happy after 5 years to be in a position where not only are there, one or more people willing, and waiting to watch me each week, but I've also actually can play whatever I want and on whatever system I want and not have to worry about will I be able to pay my food bills, my grocery bills this month if I play a game that my audience isn't expecting. And that's a luxury that a lot of gamers or a lot of streamers that have made it don't get to enjoy. So unfortunately, I'm just going to lay it out right now. This is going to be my last stream till at least July. I'm not happy to say that, but I also am kind of relieved to say that. Frankly, it's because of barrier aggression, my autism, my expose videos about the National Council on Severe Autism and some of the stuff they said on their podcast that are contributing to an environment of concrete harm toward disabled people. And I'm talking about it, and when I planned and started filming and releasing these videos, this was not a real life current events issue in the way that it is now. Hey there, Reliat. Yeah, my first webcam stream in a few weeks shy of a year from my 5-year anniversary. I'm going to be taking off at least till July. I'm gonna be out of town. No, it's not that heavy. It's not that heavy. I'm just saying, I'm thrilled because by all the typical metrics of success on Twitch, I've failed in every single one of them except for the fact that I'm still streaming regularly, which already puts me in the top 5 to 10% of people who have ever streamed on Twitch. But I was hoping when I came back to Twitch a few weeks ago at the start of April. Oh no, I didn't. I said I'm a failure in terms of the typical metrics of success. If I was judging myself in terms of the typical metrics of success, I should have quit 5 years ago, and you see I haven't. And what I was saying, you probably missed it. I'm in a position where there are not only multiple people who want to watch me each week, but I could play whatever I want and whatever genre on whatever system I want and not have to worry about if I'm going to be able to pay my bills and afford my groceries. And that is a luxury that I know a lot of streamers who are successful and who have made it would die for. Like, they can't play what they want and they can't play the games they'd want to because they know it's going to directly impact their bottom line, their ability to pay rent, groceries, insurance, all those things that come up. So I'm happy after 5 years to be in this situation in which most people who have made it to the point where they're streaming successfully can't really enjoy playing games the way I do. Now, a few things are going to change, like my Reliet is saying, H, I sent you a DM back in 21. Did I read it? I'm going to tell you something. Any DM, like when you stream, even as a small streamer, you get tons and tons of spam, like offshore casino spam messages and stuff like that. I haven't communicated with anyone. What, at least, I guess it must have been around 2020. Every year or so, I just go around deleting it in batches. And yeah, if there's anything, like, if it's anything serious, I would probably say, like I do want to try to, I'm grateful to all my viewers, but, like, I had someone, like, say, like, hey, I have a huge crush on you, and it didn't go well. It didn't go well. I'm just saying that outright. Someone said, hey, I have a crush on you. I'd like to meet up. It did not go well. And when they tried to continue it in stream, I had to say, like, hey, there's a sort of a boundary. You crossed it. You probably don't want to interact with me anymore if you're going to try to consider me in this way. So I'm just being... and by the way, there's supposed to be music. I don't know why there's no music. So if it's anything like that heavy or serious, or like asking for personal advice or anything, I'd probably say to abstain from that. But now, okay, so what we're doing today, we're playing Pokemon. We're playing a little versus pinball, and we're playing my two favorite comfy train videos. Railway with a heart of Reliet is saying, I understand DW bad, I assure you, they are not in some sort of homoerotic parasocial thing with me. Well, I mean, anything related to relationships or orientation is just, like, absent of this show and stream whatsoever. So I'm really not even concerned in regards to that if it seemed that way. And I didn't even specify the gender of the person who contacted me, but... what we need to do... There we go. There we go. So y'all should be able to hear this while I play. Alright, and I think I need to turn up the game audio just a tiny bit. Yeah, I really did. I only have been troubleshooting for the last 3 hours and prepping. I really should have been prepping since this morning. But, you know, life. And the reason I'm not going to be streaming until July is, oh, okay, Rolia is saying they sent a message that was very personal back in 2020. I just wanted you to know that the streams were very relaxing and impactful. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I know, well, talking about the UK, when I got to go to England, when I went to the Bluebell Railway, not this railway, it was a standard gauge railway in East Sussex. This is a narrow gauge railway in Wales. And by sheer chance... I didn't see, I just didn't see it. So, yeah, I appreciate that. And I know, and the thing is, when I say, like, there are people who are just such, like, butt faces where, like, I see people complaining on Discord servers, you know, for Twitch streamers, you know, how to grow your audience, whatever. It's like, oh, I've been streaming for, like, almost a year and I only have 50 average viewers. What am I doing wrong? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, there's nothing that's going to make you happy, because when you actually get the sort of following you think you want, you're not going to be able to play the games you want to play, and you're not enjoying interacting with the people who already want to go out of their way to see you. And probably saying that's all, they're sitting on that for 4 years? Okay. Well, I'm sorry, I hope that you weren't holding your breath that whole time. It'd probably be worthy of a Guinness record. But then again, Guinness... isn't exactly credible in terms of records, unless you want to, like, you know, file for a record for, like, the world's longest, like, ass hairs on an even-numbered Wednesday, and during a leap year, during a solar eclipse, or something crazy like that, or whatever else they keep track of these days. Now, Reliet in chat is saying they just wanted me to know. I didn't mean for me to, the Pokemon Shield donation. Oh, yeah, I never thought that. You were and you were one of the regulars in chat. This footage was in color. And can you hear the narration, Kalakaboy? Can everyone in chat hear the narration? Do I need to turn it up just a tad? And no, this footage was filmed in color, and it's filmed, if you notice, it's an American narrator. This is actually an American film from an American filmmaker who was in the UK. Oh, they felt bad that I didn't enjoy. I feel bad that you felt bad that I didn't enjoy it. It's not Game Freak's fault that, well, I mean, I guess it is actually. It's not your fault that the business aspect of Pokemon has superseded the quality control aspect, and that they didn't need take the extra year or two they needed in order to make that game what it should have been. Yeah, well, yeah, this footage was filmed in color, and it's amazing. I think this was filmed within the first several years of the Taliclin Railway's preservation era. In fact, I found on Flickr, I don't have it handy, I found a full color photograph from the pre-preservation Taliclin Railway. It was, yeah, it was a color photograph of number 2 Dolgok just sitting in front of the station, and it was before it was preserved, it was before it was a tourist attraction, it was just a random, obsolete railroad with ancient equipment. The tracks are nearly fully overgrown with weeds to the point where it looks like a grassed, tramway. And no one's on the platform. The train's just sitting there to leave, probably with 1 or 2 people on board at most. And it's just waiting to die. And it's just incredible that someone actually went to this place and took a color photograph of it before it was preserved. Yeah, Reliat in chat saying narrow gauge feels. Oh yeah, Reliat, I'm sure that you've seen the restored Thomas the Tank Engine Down the Mine pilot that was released by Mattel for the 80th anniversary of the Railway series. I thought that they might release the footage, but I didn't know it existed in that complete of a form, and I certainly did not expect Mattel to go that far out of their way to remaster the film and actually spend money on remastering the film only to make it available for free on YouTube. And Reliat's saying they haven't. They've been paying their mortgage and raising a family. Hey, that's pretty much like, I mean, it's out there. Even if Mattel takes it off of YouTube. Do I want to stream it here? I wouldn't want to. Well, first off, I'm not set up for it at all. And more so than that, I wouldn't, because it is effectively a brand new released, episode of the show. Mattel went so far that they, released it as a full-fledged episode. They edited it. If you look on YouTube, it's only, if you could spare 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, they have it up there on Mattel's YouTube channel, or on the Thomas and Friends. If you type in Thomas and Friends Down the Mine pilot, you'll find it. And what's fascinating, I won't say too much if you want to be surprised for it, but it is of higher quality than I expected it to be in terms of the production of the time, because it was just a sample episode. And more than that, I was surprised Mattel spent money remastering it. They hired one of the original composers from the first few seasons of Thomas the Tank Engine to compose a score using the original motifs and themes. And Reliat's saying they stopped paying attention to TTT after that switched. Oh, Go Thomas. Oh, Thomas and Friends All Engines Go. Yeah, I tuned out long before that. But oh, and by the way, Sword Lore reading not available for this stream, unfortunately, just because. Hold on.
Just as people come 100 miles or more to work on the Taliban, others come from as far to ride on it and to see the valley.
Yeah, Thomas. What was I talking about? Thomas and Friends, All Engines Go. Oh yeah, I stopped paying attention long before that. I just know that whatever they're doing with Thomas now, it might get kids' attention today, but it's not going to make them lifelong railroad fans. That's what I'd say about the new Thomas. If the kids today enjoy it, bless them. But I doubt it's going to make lifelong railroad fans out of kids the way classic Thomas did, and not to mention the Railway series itself. But it's really honestly I know, aside from Thomas and Friends: The Adventure Begins and Greenlighting, and which is really the only of the modern Thomas movies I've seen. The only CG Thomas movie I've seen is Thomas and Friends: The Adventure Begins, which is an adaptation of like the first couple of Railway series books, and therefore the first several episodes of season 1 of the original show. But it's told using taking a lot of more cues from the Railway series. For instance, James being black, mentions of lore that isn't even featured in the Railway series books itself, like the existence of the Farquhar branch coffee pot tank engines. Just incorporating some little touches like that. But yeah, there's number 3, Sir Hayden. No, but I did not include the Sodor lore reading as a redeem option because because frankly I didn't want to set my webcam thing back up when this is the only webcam stream I'm gonna be doing for a while. When I come back, probably in early to mid July, I will be using my VTuber model again. Now, possibly inspired by the 5 Royal Flush card targets on the lower table, Reliet in chat is asking if I ever played a game called Bellatro. And I've seen it, it looks cool, but unfortunately, like, the way my brain works, like, I could play War, which is not so much of a card game so much as a procedural activity involving cards with no real strategy involved. Maybe I'll grind and, like, I'm not a poker guy. Someday, maybe, but it's a very interesting game, and I've definitely seen it. It's really such a shame the trouble that the developers of Bellatro have had in terms of its content rating, because they've had to fight from it getting like a T or even an M rating for over gambling just because it's a poker game. I know it's not like actual, like, you know, sit at a table at a casino poker, but yeah, like all the more interesting card games, like the most complex card game I think I've ever gotten decent at is maybe Rummy, but I have not played that since with my mom in the late 90s. And I don't know, like, not War, I guess Uno, which is not a traditional, you know, like card, you know, deck game. I have a deck of French tarot cards, not like the cards used in divination, like the actual, like, deck of cards that you play a proper game with. The developers of Bellatro is really one man. Okay. Alright, I wasn't aware of that. I know that one man has had trouble with, you know, ESRB ratings and international ratings abroad over the fact that, oh, it's poker, therefore it's a gambling game. Yeah, and it seems like now this scene here, they've clearly been filming all of this with one camera, and due to the camera work and the different angles used, you could tell this crash sequence coming up is staged. And I'm sure the modern Teleclin Railway would be loath to present their railroad as being prone to crashes and mishaps like we see here, but it was a different age. Yeah, there's no way you could get all of those different angles and shots using one camera without it all being staged and then edited together to look like a spontaneous sequence. A little bit of my filmmaking skills from college there. Yeah, so I will not be streaming again until this coming early July at the soonest. Because when I started streaming again in early April, I thought that I'd be able to maintain a balance between working on my barrier aggression videos, my National Council on Severe Autism expose criticism video series, and doing my streaming, but that's not the case, it turns out. My output in terms of my barrier aggression video releases and editing and filming new videos has taken a massive dive. Now there's a set number, there are only like 5 or 6 more videos I need to film and edit together before the series is complete. But to do that before, I want to finish it before Anthrocon, which is going to be in early July, which I am attending this year. Before, I want to finish before then, and I want to hopefully be ready to start streaming again once I get back from Anthrocon, kind of like what I, last year. Well, last year I just sort of had my VTuber reveal, then the next week was, Anthrocon, and then, so, and there are other projects I want to work on in terms of, like, pamphlets and handouts and business cards and stuff I want to leave. And that's aside from the book I'm working on. I am still working on the same book I started in January 2024. I've been doing a lot of work in my professional writing life, and that's also going to take up that's going to take up will I be back in time for 4th of July? So, for 4th of July, I'm going to be at Anthrocon. So, no, I will not be here for the 4th of July. I will be back possibly maybe a week after the 4th of July, so maybe like the second week of July at the absolute soonest after this. But by then, I want to have barrier aggression completed. And that's my goal. And I'm going to have certain things ready to send to printers to have made up in time for Anthrocon. So that'll be, another major thing I'm working on. I'm doing a lot of long-distance traveling, and so I'm having some tuning done to my car, and including some equipment that needs to be calibrated over the course of long contiguous drives. I'm just having a lot of things installed in my car that, like, for instance, for all the interstate traveling I do in my professional and family life, I don't have cruise control, and it turns out that my car, I did not know this, my car has all the wiring for the cruise control already there. All they have to do is put in the little stick with the buttons to operate it with. And I need to find out if the dealer of the like a maker of my car, if I could take it to a dealer and have that done, or if I'm gonna have to go to order the original manufacturer's parts for the cruise control kit, and then pay to have a professional install it, a third party professional install it. So, because I know some people buy a car in terms of like an investment, like, oh, I'm going to buy it here, and then I'm going to refinance, and then I'm going to sell it, when it's at its maximum value, then buy the next car, and then sell that when it's at its maximum resale value, and like, no, I bought this car, it is paid off, I've had it since it was, like, I got it, like, a year after, it was maybe a year old at the time I got it. I think it was basically brand new when I got it. Still had new car smell and everything, and it's either I won't say the exact year, but it's either a decade old or a little under or over a decade old. So it's still very, very new. It's been incredibly reliable. Only failed on the road once on me in all my travels. And when that happened, I called AAA. It turns out all I had to do was like tighten. Like if I wiggled the battery cable, I could have driven it home. It would have been fine. So it's never failed me on the road. I've taken excellent care of it, and I plan to keep that car until it is no longer a functional car. And when I do, I hope to immediately buy a new car outright with like minimal payments. And I might even buy the same make and model if it's still in extant. It's still being made at that point. But what I want to do, I don't want to sell when it's time for a new car. What I'm going to be doing, I'm probably going to do something crazy, like, work with some save a bunch of money and do some crazy stuff to, renew it, give it a new second lease on life with some crazy custom stuff, like put in a diesel engine or something. It's a type of car that typically wouldn't have a diesel in the Western market. Or in the North American market. Hey there, Bill Preston in chat saying, what do we have going for this 5-year anniversary? Well, first off, you see, for the first time in a few weeks shy of a year, I am on camera. Yeah, we're on camera. Oh, hold on. I did not realize. Gonna have to adjust this a bit. Which is engaged at the speed is in excess of 10 kilometers an hour. Oh, okay. That's not... Alright. I was, Alright. Well, we don't have too much longer left. Well, first off, you see, I'm on camera for the first time in a few weeks shy of a year. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to be back till, early July. I'm not going to be back... Oh, I didn't mean to pin that. Actually, I never pinned a post before. Yeah, I never, Yeah, I never pinned a comment before, or a chat message before. Yeah, so for the first time in a little less than a year, a few weeks shy of a year, I'm live on camera again. Well, I'm always live, and on a camera, but I'm on my webcam and not my secondary camera, which it controls my motion control rig. Yeah, which is why Sodor lore reading isn't available. I'm not going to re-rig it up for my webcam. So we've got comfy train videos, some versus pinball, probably my single most played game on the Switch. And after this, we're going to play some little Pokemon Puzzle League, followed by Mario Party 1 and 2. And that's going to be my anniversary stream. I'm not going to be back till early July, because I want to... I thought I'd be able to focus doing my streams and working on my my autism charity expose videos, but I can't. It's my videos, productivity in terms of those videos, which I consider incredibly important, because the information in those videos is potentially going to impact a lot of innocent disabled people who may have such a background that they may not be able to make those videos for themselves, and I really just want... This group is really attacking the disability status and trustworthiness of innocent disabled people. I don't really care if, they didn't use the right, politically correct disability language. I don't care about that. In fact, the first comments I got on any of my videos was from another autistic self-advocate fussing at me for not using the community-preferred up-to-date language that they want that's ideal to use. I don't care about that. They're saying things that have caused me to be harmed, have cost me a lot of money and time and wellness, and nearly caused me to have to sue people. Fortunately, it didn't come to that. And I really don't want groups like this passing off bigotry and prejudice as disability advocacy. And I have a Ko-fi where you could leave me tips. I don't push it much. People have asked for it. I put it up there. Now, tips are a gratuity for entertainment services in the context of my show. They are completely optional and they are non-refundable. A donation, however, is refundable. And I think that anyone who donated to that National Council on Severe Autism, believing that they were contributing to a credible society that was advancing the needs and interests of high support needs disabled people who have limited or non-existent ability to engage with self-advocacy, they, I think, are entitled to a refund, because their money has been used for outrageous misconduct on behalf of that group's president and certain of its board members and several of its members and guests who it's platformed on their official podcast and other channels. So yeah, I gotta go ahead and finish those videos up, put that behind me. I'm sick of working on them, but I need to. I have to. They're important. And and then I also have to prepare certain materials, you know, handout materials and business cards for distributing at Anthrocon at the start of next month. And then I'll be traveling a lot for, you know, my professional and personal life, you know, so I'll be gone for a lot of this month, and wouldn't necessarily have been around every weekend anyway. So the best choice I can make to offer my viewers consistency and transparency is to say, hey, I'll be back in early July at the nearest. And I say early July, I mean maybe the second week of July at the absolute soonest. Yeah. Oh, we didn't get to play for very long. All right. We didn't get to play on the bonus board for too long. Oh. Get a bonus ball? Nah, no bonus ball. I wasn't even paying attention to if I was on my bonus ball or not. Alright. 5, 7, 8. Yeah, and oh, here's something. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna go get something real quick. So I had this nearby, and I forgot to grab it for the stream. One nice thing about being on camera again, I could show off. Has anyone seen this gadget before? This thing right here? When people ask, am I getting Nintendo Switch 2? It's like, no. Like, right before they announced the Switch 2, or they did the Switch 2 reveal, I got this thing. This is not a crank to charge the device. This is a crank to... Yeah, it's a Panic Playdate. And if you don't know what the Panic Playdate is, that whole meme about paying more money for smaller games with worse graphics, that's basically this console in a nutshell. That's where my head is at right now in terms of gameplay or video gaming. So, and Switch 2, I'm not going to be the one helping to break ground on that. One more unit for all the diehards who can't wait to play the latest and greatest Nintendo entries. But I do have a couple of days at home planned out and a couple of pizzas scheduled to me for the day of the Switch 2 release. Not for Nintendo Switch 2, but for Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4, which I will be playing on my own time off stream. I decided that the best way to enjoy those would be off stream. And, oh yeah, and Playdate's second season is about to start. Its second season of included games. I'm already, you know, pre-ordered it. Where each week they send like a couple of games over to you. Like curated games. They tend... And yeah, so smaller game... And the high-resolution black and white graphics definitely remind me of an obscure device called the Cybico. That existed in like the year 2000, 2001. It was basically all... It was so strange. It was like more advanced than the Game Boy in every way except for like kind of like its sound quality had little beeps and boops. The sound quality was pathetic, but it was basically a smartphone for teens before smartphones were a thing. It had wireless chat, but it was basically a text messaging walkie-talkie, where you could chat wirelessly in chat rooms, but you were only within like a range of like 300 feet max. Now, if you had a bunch of them, you know, that would be kind of a daisy chain effect that extended the range. Now, Bill Press is saying their friend is hugely into that. He even contributed to their little award show for the people that develop games for it. My favorite games, so I haven't gotten enough time to sit down and play the games, but now that the second season's coming out, I'm going to try to be playing the games and reviewing them on my Tumblr. And also, unironically, the e-reader, the little ebook reader, the PDF file reader, is a fantastic use of that device that I get a lot of play out of it for. Alright. Thank you, Bubbles from Clue Land. yeah, I wanna finish those videos. I wanna focus more on my language studies and my writing and you know, my professional life. You know, like I do what I do. I don't talk too much about it, but in terms of, you know, my recreational writing, I want to ramp up. I want to get this book out this year. I want to get it out this year, and yeah, it's very. I think it more so than I planned when I started in January 2024. I think it's an important book. I think it has the potential to make a lot of people happy, inspire a lot of people, maybe bring some people together that are currently at odds with each other. I don't know. But yeah, and this is a railway I definitely want to visit. The Snowden Mountain Railway. I understand you actually have to apply. It's not quite a visa, but you have to apply for some kind of formal permission to enter the UK as a US citizen right now. Like, when I went, I didn't have to do anything in advance. All I needed was my passport, and all I needed was my passport and my and a ticket. And a plane ticket. And when I got to passport control, I just had a printout showing, you know, the money in my bank account and my hotel reservations, proving I wasn't just showing up and was gonna, you know, just go be a vagabond out on the streets. I actually had a plan to leave, you know, promptly, that I was just a tourist. I had proof that I was there for vacation purposes. I had all my, Bluebell Railway tickets. You know, and at the time, I decided specifically, you know what, I'm specifically going to go to the Bluebell Railway for my first UK trip. I was working a job at a dollar store, like stocking shelves, and I was like out on the, you know, in the you know, the food section of the dollar store, and I specifically thought, like, just the thought just seemed so, I guess, inspiring that that just became my goal. And of course, to actually afford it, I needed to upgrade my employment, my occupation a bit, so I was not at the dollar store at the time I actually made that trip. Now I'm actually making a lot more than I was when I went to the UK. However, I also have a lot more expenses, so a little more complicated in terms of working that out. But alright. I love this story right here. And by the way, number 6 there, Padarn, that's the only one of the 1920s second batch of locomotives still in service. I think there are 2 or 3 of the 1896 locomotives and only one of the 1920s engines that are of a more modern design. Oh, there we go. Alright, now I'm actually focusing on the, oh well, I mean, if I'm gonna get serious about the score, I might as well just take this L, see if I have any bonus balls to play with. Okay, for this next run, I'm actually gonna seriously attempt to play. So that means for a minute, there'll be minimal narration. I think, you know, doing this stream where I do the Talclan video and the Snowden Mountain Railway video while playing versus Pinball, I may have done this only once using my VTuber avatar. Okay. Okay. Already lost our first ball. Not doing too good. Actually, I'm just gonna restart. I'm gonna go ahead and restart. Okay. Now, this video, you know, I found this on 2 YouTube videos. This video right here, it was on 2 YouTube videos. Fortunately, I had the foresight. No, it was like part 1 and part 2. Fortunately, I had the foresight to download the part 1 and part 2. And this is in like 2006, 2000 what? Maybe 2008 or 9 at the absolute latest. I had the foresight to download them because since then the channel got taken down because I guess they had something up that like people actually cared about and they had got in trouble. But I downloaded the 2 halves and put them back into a single half-hour videotape. And now I have it up on my YouTube, and I've had it up there for years. I'm the only... It's kind of odd. Like, I guess, you know, I need to go ahead and submit this to archive.org, because I guess if it wasn't for me, this video would kind of be lost media. Yeah, I really do need to... And one thing I do want to do in the near future, I want to do more watch-along stuff. I have so many things downloaded with the intention of watching them that I haven't. But thanks to posting on YouTube, there were copyright claims made for some of the music, this is a tape. This tape, it has to be from 1989, dating by some of the music releases and the roster of locomotives. They say they have 2 diesels, which puts it in a very specific window that couldn't have been any later than 1991. It's hard to tell because there's no copyright date within the tape itself. And this is clearly a VHS video transfer. So yeah, so aside from the fact that I'm just glad it's up on YouTube and that I didn't get in trouble for it, but they made several copyright claims for the music that I actually appreciated because now I could actually find these artists, and I found a lot of sort of new agey, synthy, and relaxing, sort of mystical, whimsical, kind of music, because there's no credits, like there's no closed ending credits to this, so I don't know what the music was being used. So there's lots of great, like, I think James Asher did like the main opening theme. It was from a album from the late 80s called The Great Circle or The Great Wheel or something like that. I think it's called The Great Wheel. Alright. And now they've reached the top of the mountain. Hey, bonus ball.
Across the Irish Sea, one may pick out the wistful mountains of Ireland. The weather-wise gods warn, however, that to see the Isle of Man means rain on the morrow.
And of course, we have the national anthem of Wales here. And here comes the part where they try to sell you stuff. Yeah, that building has been demolished and replaced with a nice new one. I heard that before they demolished it, it was in very, very poor shape, and it was not very impressive. Yeah, and they come back down the mountain locomotive first. They don't turn the train around, because, you know, the carriage is resting against the locomotive. They aren't even coupled, just gravity keeps the train assembled. Hey, bonus time. I'm gonna focus, see if I can make this the best bonus session ever. Doggone. Didn't last long, but got a couple thousand points. Only 1,000 of which were earned during the actual bonus sequence. Yeah, there's several really good improvements between the arcade and the NES version of this. The main one is that, like here, that pop bumper in the center is 100 points. On this lower table here, we'll go intentionally to lower table. The pop bumpers are 300 points, and the NES version, they're all 100 point pop bumpers, top and bottom table, and it's fairer that the pop bumpers on the lower table are more valuable to hit, because the upper table has no risk of losing a ball. As long as you're on that upper table, you have no chance of losing a ball. So the lower table, which has risk of losing a ball, should have more valuable targets on it. Just little pieces of balancing that I think make this version significantly better than the NES one. Alright, let's see if we can keep it on the upper table. You know, I may like forego Pokemon and just go straight into Mario Party. Alright. Have I had any bubble tea drinks lately? Just the two you know about. Well, no, okay, I had the blueberry one, which was nice because it was a nice hot day. I went out, you know, and that was with the tapioca, non-popping boba. Then the next time I went back to that place, I got the apple flavor, and it would just tasted like green, sugary apple fruit punch. The blueberry one was sweetened, but it tasted like a tea. The apple one just tasted like gross punch. Like, it didn't taste that good in comparison. Yeah, so I haven't been back to the bubble tea shop yet. In fact, I should go, so I know where there is one. And no, I need to save the money because I have a bunch of stuff to take care of, actually. I'm silly enough with my money lately. Yeah. Just turned on my, yeah, I've got, yeah, the one thing I can't stand about, well, one of the things I can't stand about this apartment, it's tiny, but that's what I'm paying for, but I don't have a place to really cook of my own, but that's part of what I'm paying for, but I have, in the warm months, like, the gnats get out of control. Now, I got these fly trap things. Well, the first year I was here, I actually bought a Venus's flytrap, and unfortunately it did not help much, because there were just too many. But, so what I need to do now is, alright, I'm gonna go right over to Mario Party. We're gonna change controllers, change grip and order, hit L and R on my N64 controller. Yeah, okay, we open up the N64 app. Now, what volume do we need to have the pinball at? We need to have it at 19.1. So we need to have the volume at 19.1. There we go. Turn the volume up a bit, since we'll have actual music and not just beeps and boops. Alright, if you have to adjust the volume, let me know, but... Yeah, I don't have a save file all queued up like I do sometimes, so we're actually going to do this from scratch. You know, last time we played Mario Party 1, we played the Mario's, hold on. No, we want to depart for adventure. Yeah, what was Mario's Rainbow Castle? Let's play Peach's birthday cake in recognition. And of course, always playing as Luigi. Let's set them all to hard. Yeah, we have all the maps unlocked. But in recognition of the 5th year anniversary, let's go to the Peach's birthday cake with this sort of celebratory theming. Hopefully we can get through one 20-turn match on this board and another. Now in Mario Party 2, I think somehow I accidentally deleted all my data. Or, like, somehow, I don't know how I did it, but yeah, I don't have access to Bowser Land, which is the map I'd probably want to play on if I had my full druthers, but with my partial druthers, I'm just probably going to play on what's it called? The Pirate Land. Wow, I'm going first. I actually would have preferred... I prefer going second or third strategically, but I'm not going to complain to get to go first. There we go. You're seeing the camera at me. Let me show you where to find the first star. Yeah, the star spot doesn't move, but there is a lottery you're forced to play where you can go up or down unexpectedly. Now, when I was at... Oh yeah, I attempted to have a bubble tea drink. I think it was tapioca boba, but it was like one of the ones you get at the supermarket. And I got all the way to the register, and then I realized it was like months out of date. It looked fine, but I just left it with the cashier and was like... And Clackaboy's saying there's a potential Nintendo Direct for June, which is in the past for E3. Any chance you do a special stream if that happens? Yeah, pretty high chance. Assuming I'm in town. Well, I mean, in town, or have good Wi-Fi, because that's one of the nice things about VTubing, and the way I do, is I could have consistency in how my stream appears, but you don't necessarily know that I'm in my apartment at home. Which is one of the appeals. I only leveraged that a couple of times, but you never know. So, okay, I'm gonna actually be... Alright, great, a stick rotation minigame. Yeah, so I'm just at the whims of Peach's, whatever idiotic Peach wants to... Oh, you lost the treasure chest, Peach? Okay. Oh yeah, this is very clearly... And the thing is, they say do not rotate with your hand, never, never. But it's like when they program these minigames, the timing with which they program these minigames is very specifically oriented. It's very specifically tuned with the expectation that the player is going to be using their hand. Now, one thing I also want to say is I'm going to be streamlining my streams in the future. Some of elements that maybe make my stream a bit unique, I'm going to be but do take a little extra time, or I'll be forgoing. Like the individual stream numbers are going to be going away. Those take time for me to implement into the layouts of all the games I'll be playing, to add to my chat commands and my automatic timer. Unfortunately, the stream numbers are going to be going away as far as what you'll be seeing at home. I know it's been one of my signature things that's been in every single stream since my first one. I kind of started getting sick of it a couple years ago. I originally put it in anticipation of the storyline stuff that I only started executing at the start of 2024 with, when I started the Advanced Controller storyline, because a lot of elements of that were things I planned from the beginning, including, you know, the stream numbers being like these interdimensional broadcast numbers. But, yeah, now I do have an internal record keep. Now, these individual stream numbers do have actual significance in terms of, there's a system where I can know which year and date the day the stream was and how many streams I've done. The elements of that are useful for me are still going to be in my records, but it's going to be a behind-the-scenes kind of thing. And it's going to just add a few extra minutes, like not having to check the Julian date of my streams for each time I do a stream is going to, and you know, to make the stream numbers, it's going to be a lot simpler. And just so you know, the stream numbers have a specific formula. It is like the last two numbers of the current year. So like in 2020, my streams started with 20. Then it's the Julian date of the year. So like if I streamed on January 1st, it would be 001. If I streamed on December 31st, it would be 365. Unless it was a leap year, then it would be 366. That's what I mean by Julian date. Then the number of streams I've done. So I've done a total of 319 streams. This is my 319th stream. Now, Kalakaboy in chat is saying they would really like to talk more about Switch 2 games. The only Switch game that interests them is the remastered Bravely Default. Yeah, well, I mean, when I say the numbers were proprietary knowledge that I couldn't tell us, that was within the context of the storyline. And, like, eventually it was just the idea was that when I started streaming, I was, like, I don't feel like going through it all now. You can watch my, you can watch the VODs, the truncated VODs. No, I'd rather. I'm not going to buy a strawberry unless I know I have enough to buy a star as well. Yeah, like the whole time I was playing coy knowing that the stream numbers would come into play in the storyline involving like an AI contacting me across universes and everything. But yeah, it's not going to be something that's visible on stream and my opening hold screens available as a command to check. Available as a, you know, a timer, an automated timer thing. I'm probably, for the most part, going to be doing away, like on social media, well, really just Tumblr these days. Depending on what I'm playing, if I'm going to play a game, like, all my games have basically had unique cards, like attract cards to put for my social media going live posts. Like, those are gonna go away. I have to focus for this one. Okay. I feel like I don't know if I'm just getting old, but I feel like my reflexes really slowed down. I feel like I always used to win that when I was a kid, not nowadays. But then, what I'm gonna do is probably if I'm gonna, for like Pokemon, where I know I'm gonna be playing that week after week, I'll make a card, but for the most part I won't be. There'll probably be fewer, like, I didn't make an end screen for today's stream. Like, I'm making all these end screens saying, you know, I have to change them each time saying when the day of the next stream, I feel like I went pretty far in informing my viewers in line when I'll be streaming next and all my information. But I think it hasn't proven much benefit, so I'll simplify my going live. I'd spend like 10-15 minutes on my going live messages between making the attract card. I'll probably have fewer unique opening screens, unfortunately. There might be fewer unique layouts. Like I have this layout just for Mario. This layout is just for Mario Party. When I go to play Pokemon Puzzle League, that's a different layout entirely. Because what I like to do is I like to have unique information about each game in the little ticker on the bottom. It doesn't seem like anyone's really paid much attention to that ticker. I don't see people using the chat commands. And this is a game that's very easy. Or the tricky thing, it feels like the timing is the same between this and the Mario Party 2 version that I'm more familiar with. However, okay. Yeah, the timing is the same, but the animation's different. So I get freaked out thinking, oh, I'm not as far as I would have been. I'm like behind. But like just the pacing at which the balloon inflates is different. Yeah, it's about with each draw being as efficient as possible in inflating the balloon. So even though I was behind at first, I caught up very quickly. A 1v3 minigame. Pipe maze, so I am totally... Yeah, I have nothing to do for the next 40 seconds or so. Yeah, I have nothing to do. Yeah, I just hope I get some money. Nah, Peach got it. Alright. I'm not gonna get a star this time around. I decided to go for the strawberry this time around. So I won't be buying my first star yet. But I do get to play a single player oh, no, actually, no, it's chance time. Alright, I don't have much to lose, so... Alright. Oh. Oh, I'm off. I never missed before. Okay. Alright. I didn't even get to benefit from this, but at least I didn't lose anything. Not that I had much to lose. Alright, so just a warning, there's a good chance that I'm just in terms of my stamina and how I'm feeling, decent chance I'm not going to be, yeah, I'm probably going to have to cut the stream shorter than I would have liked and just call it at when this random Mario Party's over this week. I really wish my stamina and my, was more consistent, but... No, Clackaboy in chat is saying this on eBay. Someone's selling the Smurf train set Oh yeah. I'll let us. Yeah, because we'll let a Smurf hardcore collector grab that because I don't have space in my life. I have no for it. I don't have anywhere to display it. And even by the time I lost it in Hurricane Sandy, the set had lost. The locomotive was long gone. Like even when I was still like a toy playing age kid, like I could not find the locomotive. I don't know what happened to it, and like half the cars were gone. So only the last couple of cars got lost in Sandy. I don't even know where the rest of them went. Yeah, the other players are actually being vaguely competent. Yeah, just run straight over to that goal. Yeah, I like how they didn't have to screw in the light bulb. We just fell into the socket and... Yeah, flashbang, viewers at home. It's actually even... It's not as bad on my, like, broadcast software, how you are all seeing it, compared to how it looks on my monitor. Alright. So... Yeah, he's gonna get stuck with having to see Bowser. Because I don't think anyone has yet. Oh wait, I guess someone has and I just forgot about it already. Yeah, so Mario gets the first star. Yeah, it's not a matter of, like, energy. Kalakaboy. Kalakaboy in chat saying, if I had caffeinated bubble milk tea, I might be able to continue the stream. Yeah, it's not a matter of energy in terms of, like, oh, I'm gonna fall asleep on stream. It's just a matter of sitting here talking to everyone and frankly, like, my apartment's kind of hot today, and to turn on the fan would, but I am gonna take a break in, like, probably on the half hour or so. Hold on. Actually, I'll set a timer. Finish! Congratulations, Yoshi. Yeah, in 20 minutes, I'll take a midstream break, and that's gonna help things a lot. No, I just, like I start having, like, numbness, and I don't sit down all day. I'm actually pretty active. Like, this is some of, even, you know, when I do a lot of writing, this is, my Twitch streams are some of the longer periods that I spend sitting around. Alright. This is one of those mini games that's a little less extravagant. Oh, come on. Did I actually get anything? I didn't see if me or Yoshi got that big coin bag at the end. Okay, I got 10 coins. I am now star viable. If I could warp to Toad right now, I could buy a star. Yeah, guess nothing happened. And, yeah, the one-player minigames, they're fun to play, but they're not fun to watch other players play. And they definitely improved things in the, you know what? Actually, I could probably improve things a bit just by taking off my hoodie, because I was outside and it was a bit of a cooler day out, but inside, up here, it's a little warmer. That's a little better. Yeah, it's definitely better. Okay. Mario didn't go for the bonus coins, huh? Just go straight for the goal? 4-1. Okay, chance time. Hopefully I can get some coins out of this. I don't really need them right now, but... you know, when I really did not... Okay, come on, let me get stuff, get stuff. Yeah! Nice, okay. Like, I could not tell what that was I couldn't tell that was supposed to be Yoshi in profile. It just looked like a green, like, butt sticking up in the air. Now, Collectible in chat saying, they just realized this, but my favorite color must be blue. Oh, yeah, well, it's stuff. Yeah, it's... No, I mean, it's... Like, it's not... Like, I actually do wear that blue zip-up most of the time. And then this shirt, you can't see the design much, but, these are, two, Tokipona hieroglyphs, or logograms, or however you want to describe. I've heard them described as... The upper one is Quetzalcoatl, and the lower one is Soli. So just raccoon. The upper one means raccoons, the lower one means animals, and they're sort of rendered as little cartoon line figures, with one standing on top of the other. Yeah, you get to play this again. Yeah, I like my main colors are like blue and orange. You don't see me wearing orange on stream much. It's more like when I'm out seeing in like social situations IRL, I wear orange more often.
Finish.
No, not this time. Yeah, one active strawberry seed is enough. Strawberry seed. Definitely not a man-eating plant. I love how Mario looks like. Yeah. And will Peach try to plant one? No, she will not. Yeah, and I gave them all the good AIs, so... Hey, Bowser. About to probably waste most of Yoshi's coins. Probably all of them. Oh, only... Oh, wow. For only the price of a star, not like the price of, like, a star plus 10 more coins. How generous of Bowser this time around. Now, Glagboy's saying they have a fan on them right now. Summertime's not their favorite. They'd rather be winter. Yeah. I don't... Like, it's not even summer yet. Like, well, like... Well, I used to call, like, the period between Memorial Day and the 4th of July, like, mini-summer. Like, or, like, pre-summer. And it's kind of... Like, it's weird. It's, like, not even June yet. And, you know, when I drive around, like, where I'm at now, I see, like, oh, happy, you know, summer vacation, kids. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Kids get out before it's even July. I mean, before it's even June. Because I remember growing up, I'd have friends who lived elsewhere in the country. Or no, not friends, like family members that were around my age. And they'd be bragging on the phone, like, oh, like they're already out for, you know, for summer vacation. You're still stuck in school. And then I'm like, yeah, okay. Because I know that when, like, August, it'll be like late August. And it'd be like, what? You're still on summer vacation? Like, we've been back since, like, the start of August. Like, yeah, exactly. But the college I went to, even though, like, oh, that's the first time I have lost at that mini game in a long time. But even though the public schools I went to went out in, like, late June, they let out for summer vacation. But July, yeah, even though the public schools went out in late summer or late June, my college went out in like late May. So it was, and they went out in late May, but they didn't resume for fall session until September. So we had a long summer when I was in college. You know, Glad was saying it's the perfect time for Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown. Yeah, the whole like falling into the water thing, kind of reminiscent of that. I wonder if that movie is back available for Google, for Amazon Watch Party. Yeah, I have full confidence that I'll be able to make the 10 coins back by the time we get to the star again. Because I have a couple of players, I have Mario coming up behind. There's a good chance he's going to land on my spot and get chomped. It's kind of funny. It looks like I might end up being the first person. If Mario rolls low during his turn, I might be the first person in quite a while. Well, the first person in this match to actually complete a lap of the board. Just making sure my alert went up. Yeah, there goes the rest of my coins. Well, I hope that that investment I made on that the investment I made on that strawberry went good. Did my timed going live message not even go up? Is that what we're dealing with here? Hold on. Hold on. Please. Okay, it went up. It went up. Didn't get any responses, but that's, you know, per typical. So this is one of the mini games they redesigned for Mario Party 2. And when they redesigned it for Mario Party 2, they gave it more of an industrial sort of theme to it, where it's like these platforms over iron. Now, Kalaka Boy in chat is saying they're enjoying these next few months. They'll be turning 50 in September. Well, happy advanced birthday to you. I'll be joining you. Doggone, like, I know, maybe the physics are a little different, the timing's a little different. I can't remember the last time I failed. I don't lose this minigame in Mario Party 2. And I think this is the first time I've lost this minigame in Mario Party 1. Since I started playing it again back in like 2021, I think it was like late 2021 that they made this game available on the what they now call Nintendo Switch Classics. Or Nintendo Classics or whatever. Alright. Actually, it's a bit early, but this is an ideal time for me to take my midstream break, since we're 10 turns through the match. So, oh please don't do this to me now. We're really gonna... Hold on. Oh, okay, I have to unplug. I have to... Yeah, my Stream Deck does this weird thing where it shows all the buttons and everything looks fine, but it's like plugged in, but it's not communicating with the computer. There we go. Alright. Alright, only 8 minutes because I'm not going to be streaming like for hours more or anything like that. So I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to get up, stretch, refill my water bottle, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in a minute. My name is Super Train Station H. Hey everyone, I lost track of time. Hold on. Yeah, I lost track of time, and you've been having some awful echoing because I forgot to turn off my desktop audio capture that I use for when I'm watching videos like that. And now hold on. There you go. My little kitchen timer just went off now. Alright, so I'm feeling good and refreshed, and hold on. Yeah, it's not a matter of energy that sort of dictates my stamina. It's some other sort of, I don't know, health, circulation related thing, but for now, let's finish this game off. Okay. Hey. Okay, looks like I will not be the first to complete a lap around the board after all. Mario is. Oh, Little Train of Oh, that's been in circulation for about a year, Kalaka Boy. Yeah, that is on the boardwalk at Arvern. Not far, you know, nearly within eyeshot of where I lived growing up. And, well, hold on. Doggone. Yeah, what that is a representation of a actual boardwalk railway that existed in, like, from, like, 1900 to 1902. And it was actually for tourist use, but, yeah, I never told you about the little train of books. Beachgoers from out of town give me bewildered looks as I roll down Arvern's boardwalk with my little train of books. And yeah, the melody is my own, and the words are my own too. I have a whole, like, it's a very relatively long poem. It would take, like, maybe 3 minutes to recite it in full. But, no, okay, I've been playing this wrong. I've been actually trying to... Doggone, of course. Well, at least I got 1 coin. Yeah, I got 5 coins out of the deal. Nice. Okay. Second to complete a full lap. Yay, and didn't land on anyone's piranha plant territory. Yeah, and it's funny, the real-life railway, when I worked with Polly Mori to do that art for me, because Lunarian H, like the Lunarian H character, like within the context of like the Advanced Controller storyline, the actual Lunarian H character that, you know, that exists within that sort of storyline framework is the character that's operating that train, and Lunarian H's day job is that he never left his home neighborhood in Queens by the beach, and he operates little trains transporting library books between a research library and a big warehouse that stores books waiting to be processed. Yeah, so that's Lunarian H's actual canonical day job. Here we go. The game that's basic. I'm sure this game is much trickier when playing with a human opponent. But I guess to compensate for the AI not being the greatest, or to make it fairer, they make it so that if you're playing with an AI, the computer player just matches your movements to the point where you basically have to try to get out of sync and actually, like, fail. Now I wonder, like, if doing like a sort of three-legged race type thing, I wonder if that would be something that would work well. Okay, now I'm gonna. Oh no, not this time. Yeah, that's Lunarian H. The Doorworm. Lunarian H would like to. Well, yeah, I don't want to spoil too much story stuff, but Lunarian H and all the artwork has a Doorworm. Lunarian H, the model that you see on stream, does not have a Doorworm. Within the context of the fictional universe of my stream storytelling, anything that's with the exception of Griffin H. Griffin H is real. He exists in Redemption Center 2. But with that exception, and long term I would like to have a 3D model of Griffin H to VTube as, but anything that's 3D is real. So I'm 3D. Lunarian H is 3D. Anything that's 2D is imaginary. Anything that's 2D is artwork within the context of the story. So all of that two-dimensional artwork of Lunarian H with a Doorworm is not stuff that Human H, like the Human H character, Human H of Redemption Center 1, that's not artwork he commissioned. It's artwork that Lunarian H and Redemption Center 5 commissioned. So, I won't go too much more with that. There's interesting storyline implications.
Ready? Go!
Wait, oh, it's B is to skate. I'm catching up. Thank goodness this is not a stick rotation game. I did not go for the bonus coins because I think they're more likely to, not even looking at the screen. Oh, Peach got it. Whew, that is so physically exhausting. Yeah, that is very, very physically exhausting. Due to the way I was holding the controller. No. Okay, good shroom, good shroom. No, doggone. You picked a poisonous mushroom. I'm out for a turn. Why am I not a cartoon moondoggy? Azurest? Yeah, for my 5th year anniversary, I wanted to do a webcam stream for the first time since late June 2024, when I introduced the model. Now, if things had gone the way I had hoped and I was able to do more storyline stuff in the whole advanced controller XLO token setting, there would have been more appearances both of, Human H of Redemption Center 1 and Lunarian H of Redemption Center 5, and maybe some others as well long term. But, you just gotta... Yeah, you only have to press A when you're playing. I think there's the version of this in Mario Party 2. You actually have to press multiple buttons. Okay. Yeah, this is frustratingly simple. Yeah, in Mario Party 2, there are actual decent melodies. I don't know what I did wrong. Like, it's weird. Yeah, I lose a turn. Please be sent. I mean, about Mario goes to see Bowser. And Peach goes to get her first star. Oh no, not quite. She only got moved one space. Yeah, regular old 4-player minigame. Castaways? Which one is... Oh yeah, this is that fishing minigame where you have the mitt on the end of a fishing glove. And unfortunately, there's no practice. There's no practice mode in Mario Party 2. Mario Party 2, I played that. Oh yeah, I used practice mode. Oh, doggone. No, doggone. Yeah, there we go. The treasure chest, I think, is 10 coins. It's like... Okay. I don't know how gently you have to flick it to try to get... You know, I was going for the middle row, but I almost got a second treasure chest. Oh, come on. I got another treasure chest. Could have made out with 20 coins. But I wasn't able to reel it in fast enough. I really hope I don't go back and listen to this VOD and like the sound quality for my mic is bad, because I don't know, I didn't have as much time to test as I would have liked. Got distracted by things, and I feel like the sound quality... Okay. Yeah. So, I know for a fact I'm gonna get to see Toad, so... I know Toad being Bowser's minion... Goomba being Bowser's minion. Consider seeing Toad instead of Bowser to be losing the lottery. Why Peach allowed these obviously evil characters to set up shop on her giant birthday cake, I don't know. Yeah, basically a free turn. And I get to play a one-player minigame. Clark was saying that sounds good? Alright, cool. Whew. Alright. Now, the strange thing about this game to me, like, some of them are, the poles are flat, some of them have spikes. If you hit a spike pole, you just lose time. That you don't instantly lose. Okay.
Start.
And plus you can see under the butterfly wings. And see kind of which ones. This happens to be a particularly forgiving arrangement.
Finish.
Yeah, they made... This is the first time I got to play a single-player minigame this time around. They really did improve the single-player minigames a lot in Mario Party 2 by making them the item minigames much shorter paced, much quicker, much snappier, much more snappier. You don't have to deal so much with Oh yeah, and I meant to respond. Yeah, sorry. Thanks for reminding me, Boy. I saw that message and then I got distracted by the game. They're wondering if the new Nintendo store will hold public screenings for any future Nintendo Directs. You know, I mean that's been a tradition of the one in New York City for as long as it's been around. So hopefully that's the case, and we get some West Coast live. Now I don't know. It's funny. The one in Japan has been around for a while. I wonder if they've done Nintendo Direct viewings over there. And hey there, welcome back, Reliet, who has returned with his exaggerated accent there. Alright. Now. Yeah, your cartoonish vernacular. Yeah, like that sort of like that's the sort of way like a really cartoony used car salesman would kind of talk. And there will be no refunds. You know, that kind of character. Alright, Tipsy Tourney is... The timing for this is... I don't think I've won this yet, because this exists in Mario Party 2, but the timing is very different in the Mario Party 2 version. So I've had a trouble, Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, see, like the way the physics of the way that portrait frame thing moves are just different enough that my muscle memory from Mario Party 2 does not yeah, okay, so you just watched the Seigneurial Day special a few days ago. You know, I was specifically thinking of HR, but I didn't actually say it because I got distracted by commenting on the ongoing Tipsy Tourney minigame. The prediction is that Luigi will win. Yeah, I haven't been on... Oh, haven't they kind of done somewhat of a relaunch? Right? Like, haven't they done somewhat of a relaunch? So, like, are they on, like, YouTube? Or is it, like, everything hosted natively on the site still, or what? Like, what's the deal? How are they going about this relaunch? They started uploading on the main website instead of YouTube. Yeah, the idea of, like, local... Okay, the Flash... Oh, they're just straight up using a Flash emulator. Okay. It's kind of weird, like, how aggressively Flash was removed from the internet. Reliet saying their best friend is head developer of Ruffle, actually. Yeah, it's kind of odd. And maybe you might have, if you're friends with one of the developers, you know, or the head developer, you might have a little more insight, but I find it... Oh, he was hyping it up in a local server for a while. Alright, cool. You had the inside scoop on that. It was just kind of odd to me how aggressively Flash was removed from the internet once it was no longer supported. It's like... One thing to, okay, we're no longer developing for it, we're no longer releasing for it. No, like, we're deliberately going to kneecap all of the existing, like, little Flash games, little cartoons and stuff. And how are people of a certain age like me gonna go back and watch their Harry Potter versus Dragon Ball Z? Hey there. Hello to our newest subscriber. I mean, our newest follower, excuse me. Yeah, I deliberately make my follow alerts anonymous, so there's no need to reveal yourself in chat. But they're saying, Smith Jr. Hold on a second. Smith Jr. Blacqua Luigi. Okay. And Reliet knows what's going on. Yeah, I just want to warn you, Smith Jr. Blacqua Luigi. I'm typically a VTuber. I'm doing it's been about a year since I've done a cam stream, and I didn't disconnect my webcam. I just used my avatar layer and just put it over where my webcam is. So any moment I can just click the button and basically brought this back up. The reason I am a VTuber, yeah, I wanted to make sure I was looking at that correctly, and I actually wanted to look at that correctly, and because when I see Blacqua, the first thing I think is Belacqua, which is the surname of Lyra and Lord Asriel in Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials, which had an excellent BBC HBO collaboration a few years ago. If you want to watch a multiverse story that has actual consequences. And thank you, Similarian, for 5 years on Twitch. Yeah, thanks for, yeah, I'm doing a webcam stream for the first time in close to a year. I always planned to introduce, VTubing stuff, but one of my motivations was, and I'm not calling anyone out, a lot of my, some of the favorite streamers I watch are VTubers. It's funny, I will sooner watch someone because I like their demeanor, their candor, and the games they're playing, more so than whether or not they're a VTuber. But I know, a lot of VTubers I know have, amazing, characters with deep lore that doesn't play much into the stream itself. Aside from them just exposing lore, just in an expository manner, as they play and just talking about their character and their lore. I wanted to actually have the lore and the storyline develop while I'm playing the games, live during the show. And so, in January 2024, if you look in my info... if you look in my info page on right here on Twitch, if you look beneath my video, you'll see a link to my YouTube. I have a playlist with all of the storyline segments that I was doing in each stream, and it took hours of planning, hours of writing and rehearsing to do these story segments where I'm interacting with, and it's funny because I came up with this idea in 2020, but this idea that these AI characters would be calling H being me, a character based on me. Now I'm fully out of character. I'm not, the curtain's fully pulled back. And so the VTuber character that that my avatar, when I'm using my avatar to do my VTubing stuff, is a character that exists oh doggone, these mini games are just separate enough, just different enough from the Mario Party 2 mini games I'm more used to mess me up in games like this. And really, it's saying, I remember that writing stream where the typing was synced to my mouth opening animations. Oh yeah, I did a few writing streams. I want to do more. I have a couple of characters. I have a couple of characters that, the Griffin H, which is just me as a griffin. That was specifically for the writing streams, and that was specifically to solve the problem that when I'm typing, it makes my webcam jiggle slightly. And it was very distracting, so that's why I actually used a VTuber avatar for that. And then my VTuber character is H, me, in a parallel universe in which he's a Lunarian, which is basically a rabbit-eared dog man with a kangaroo tail, but they have symbiotic worms that, symbiotic, snake-like creatures that live attached to them, and that's actually was interesting to me about them. The idea of, okay, it's just a human, but they have a snout and they have a tail. That's not that interesting to me in terms of telling a story. The idea of what is it like to be a human being, but your species is evolved to symbiotically coexist with this other species that acts as an extra grasping limb and is attached to your nervous system, your digestive system, your circulatory system. That's what was interesting to me, and the idea that my character does not have one of these symbiotic partners, like they just never attracted one, so that becomes a form of disability to them, even though every other, Homo sapien human, like that's how they all live, but that's how they're sort of geared up to live, and it's not a disability to them, not having a giant worm attached to them. So just a fair warning, I'm going to be calling the stream once we finish with this match. Unfortunately, Smith Jr. Black Luigi, I am going to probably not be coming back until early July, because first week of July I'm going to a convention. Throughout next month, which starts tomorrow, so throughout June, I'll be doing a lot of traveling for my professional and personal life. And then coincidental to all of that, I'm going to be, I'm just going to be traveling a lot. And then I'm working on a series of videos, sort of whistleblowing videos. Then each of the videos is between an hour to an hour long each. And I've released like 4 or 5 at this point. Videos about a corrupt autism nonprofit that's spreading a lot of misinformation about autism. And I want to finish those videos. There are only a few videos left. I've been streaming regularly on most Saturdays, unless I have an equipment. Like there was a period where I had to buy a new computer. A couple of times when my streaming computer died, I had to save up for a month or two to get a new one. Aside from that, I've been streaming pretty consistently, at least every Saturday since 2020. I'm actually from New York, and the cool thing about New York is lots of trains, and I love trains. I could see trains out the back window of my house growing up. And Smith, Black Luigi, I'm actually not talking about Autism Speaks. I'd go so far as to say that Autism Speaks gets a lot of negative attention. I'd say the group that I'm talking about, hold on. I'd say the group that I'm doing these videos about is doing far more harm than Autism Speaks has ever. When you say corrupt autism nonprofit, Autism Speaks is pretty much like, a forerunner in that field. It's not a very auspicious forerunner to be. If you look on that playlist, you'll see the videos I've released so far. It's about a group called the National Council on Severe Autism. And I actually do feel like there's, among autistic self-advocates and neurodiversity proponents, I usually win this minigame, actually. That's the first time I think I've ever lost it. It's not hard to find mentions of people describing Autism Speaks as a hate group. I've been very cautious, and I've gotten pushback for it, and I stand by it. Not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying you should be very cautious about using that kind of language in relation to Autism Speaks. In relation to the group I'm talking about, the National Council on Severe Autism, I find it very difficult, based on the actions of some of its board members, to say, if this doesn't constitute a hate group, what does? It's that serious. And I really feel, and I make the case to a certain extent, I think a lot of the board members may be too busy doing what they feel is they're organizing on behalf of high support needs autistic people that may have limited or non-existent ability to engage in self-advocacy in a way that the outside world is willing to engage with. So, that being said, I feel like some of these people in a best case scenario that are in charge of this group have been too busy trying to actually help disabled people to realize that their president and at least one of their board members is outrageously corrupt, and I feel like they're coping with having, profoundly disabled autistic children who are going to need 24/7 care for their entire lives, and will never reach basic developmental milestones. I think she's coping with that by vilifying autistic people who, with supports in place, have reached many developmental milestones that her own children might, pending, certain, breakthroughs or advances in terms of, how to help disabled people with neurodevelopmental disabilities may be out of reach for them on a lifelong basis. And so basically the group has said a lot of things that basically present any autistic person who's able to provide a representation or a description of their own experience with disability as therefore not being legitimately disabled, as having facetiously self-proclaimed autism as part of a social justice, like a radicalized social justice movement that wants to discredit actual disability and difficulty in relation to autism. But when autistic people other than the children of this organization do speak about their experiences with disability, they basically just accuse them of having made it up or having lied, and it's kind of ridiculous. And it's to a point where and there is criticism of this group out there, but it's criticism that I feel is it's often just purely vitriolic, where they'll just curse them out or say vulgarities at them, but not actually look into how messed up the group actually is and the things they've said and done. So we're going to be finishing up this stream in a minute. We all have 1 star each, so it's going to come down to happening spaces and minigame performance. So right now I think Mario's ahead. Game star. Okay, he's pretty far ahead. He's probably going to win at this point. Yeah, so Black Luigi. To give an overview of my stream, I started streaming in 2020. I often play retro games. I've played a handful of modern games. Most of my games are family friendly, but that's not a guarantee. And the games that I play is oh yeah, they're saying very intriguing to hear more about it, that I seem to know more about corruption. I'm just trying to understand a lot of info you provided. Yeah, no, it's a lot. Like, each video is between an hour to 90 minutes long each. And I still have 5 or 6 more videos. I started filming these videos before autism and disability became such an even more political issue than it already was due to, current events in the United States. So I'm gonna I want to take a month off to focus on finishing this video series, and I really feel that a lot of parents that just want to organize to help their disabled kids are giving support to a group they don't fully understand, and I think a lot of the top members of leadership may or may not even be aware of some of the messed up stuff that the president and some of its board members have been doing. So hopefully we could inspire some change and constructive. Now, that being said, I don't curse. Like, my video, my videos are done using my VTuber model, and there's a lot of cursing in them that I normally don't do on my stream. My stream is mostly family-friendly, colorful games, a lot of puzzle games, a lot of puzzle games, a lot of platformers, and a lot of a lot of puzzle games, a lot of platformers, a lot of... Earlier today, we were watching train videos. We were watching some old train videos. And, so I was diagnosed with what was then called Asperger's disorder or Asperger's syndrome at a university back in 1994. And, yeah, I do a lot of I read retro magazines, as Azraus is saying, that will, give reviews or feedback or walkthroughs of the retro games I play as well. And so now, when the DSM-5 came out in 2013, it clearly states those with a established a pervasive developmental disorder not otherwise specified diagnosis or a diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome will now have that has been commuted to being an ASD diagnosis. Now, I was one of the first people to get diagnosed with Asperger's. I was kind of a trial run on how to even deploy the diagnosis. Like, if I had been diagnosed like 6 months earlier, I probably would have just been given Asperger's syndrome as it existed under the DSM-3. Or given, rather, autism as it existed under the DSM-3. But it was kind of this new thing. Oh, we have this new classification where you could give him a lot of the services and supports and therapy he would have needed, but it would close fewer doors in terms of the perception, the perception of disability. But it's really complicated, and I think autism and in the DSM-4 or DSM-5, Asperger's. In DSM-4, Asperger's and autism were different diagnoses that were both under the pervasive developmental disorder category. And under the DSM-5, the current diagnostic manual issued by the American Psychiatric Association, autism it's now autism spectrum disorder. And the idea of autism as a spectrum disorder already, and thanks for the sub, Azurest, always deeply appreciated, never mandatory, but deeply appreciated. So autism spectrum disorder now included the former PPD-NOS and the former Asperger's diagnoses, and now it's just sort of under one umbrella. It's as a spectrum diagnosis. And it's kind of funny because, like, with some of the people that agree with a lot of the National Council on Severe Autism, a lot of their problem is they're pissed. They make it out like the DSM-5 came out in 2013, and they're presenting this landscape in which Asperger's syndrome was not a disability or a disorder, but autism was. So now that they've been merged, all these non-disabled people who did not need services or supports of any kind suddenly get to claim to be autistic. And that's not what happened at all. And these people have a perception of autism and Asperger's where if you read them, the actual ink and paper diagnosis for Asperger's syndrome and told them it was the diagnosis for autism, they'd say, yes, exactly. That's when autism was a real disability. That's why all these quirky nerds who aren't disabled need to be kicked out of the autism category. We need to have Asperger's reestablished so that they can be put into a category that should be reserved for disabled people. And they basically create this. The National Council on Severe Autism basically has this landscape where all autism is severe autism, and people who formerly would have had an Asperger's diagnosis are not severely disabled, therefore are not autistic. When the definition for Asperger's syndrome was a severe and sustained clinically significant impairment in occupational functionality, communication, and other important areas of functioning. But if you were to they just reject that Asperger's was even a severe disability or a sustained clinically significant impairment, when that's literally not true. So now, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. I don't quite have enough time to go ahead and play through the whole game, but I play lots of retro games. The next time you see me, you're gonna be seeing me as my VTuber avatar, who is very closely based on me, but just as a rabbit-eared dog man. It's a 3D avatar, so you'll see it. Burrito Bandito did it for me, and the character is very much based on myself, but I'm not using it for storytelling right now, but I invested a lot into it. And I know a lot of people who have trouble looking at people's real-life faces for a long time have come to me in private and said they like my avatar, and it's a lot. They used to listen to my stream a lot, but now it's a lot comfortable watching to it. And Smith Jr. Black Luigi saying they'll definitely be back. So awesome for speaking about autism. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I normally have a closing screen where I will, announce, oh, I'll be back on such and such date. But say, I'm going to peek at my calendar behind me here. Let's say June the 4th. No, not June. That's next month. I have to go all the way to July because I'm skipping next month. I'm so sad that I'm skipping next month. Let's say July 12th. July 12th, I'll be back. I'll be back on July 12th. And yeah, because I've got a lot. I'm a writer. I do a lot of writing. And writing is pretty much my. Actually, I can show it off since I'm on camera. I usually, I'm not on camera. But this is one of my key disability aids, is a word processor. This little device, it's just a keyboard with a screen and you could write on it. And it absolutely has changed my life. Oh, you'll be getting the Switch too. Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm not going to be doing the groundbreaking on that. I'd say let the people who are going to be hardcore day one more unit available for the people who are more passionate about it. For me, I'm a Nintendo-centric gamer to an extent, but if the eShop stayed online for Nintendo Switch 1 forever, the Nintendo Switch would have more games for it than I could play in a lifetime. But I will be playing Deltarune on the June 5th. I'll be playing Deltarune chapters 3 and 4 off stream on my own time. So, yeah, I think now is the time we're gonna be, oh, and they're saying that in chat that they stopped playing Switch today because they're acquiring Switch 2 to try out. Okay. No, Mario Kart World's gonna be an amazing game. I know, Nintendo's, I think I might make some YouTube channels, some YouTube videos. I'll try to make a couple, but Nintendo's going to have an interesting time because with Nintendo Switch 2, this is really the first time since the Nintendo GameCube in 2001 that Nintendo has released a home console class system in which better specs, better technical performance, better graphics were the key selling point and an important reason to buy. And if you got Nintendo, like if you got the Wii U at age 6 or so, you would have never. This is the first time that a Nintendo home console has presented radically better graphics as a key reason to buy. So, yeah, I just have to call the location between 8 to 10 to see if there's one in stock. Alright, well, I wish you the best of luck. And with the Wii U, I got one of my viewers on YouTube actually gifted me a Wii U, and it's a system I've played a lot on stream, only in playing the Virtual Console, believe it or not. But for now, I'll stay on forever. I need to keep moving. So I'll see you next time, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next month after next at the start of July. Bye bye.